Hey folks, it's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today's Thursday, September 21st. Hope you're well. And in this video today, we're going to be diving into Curaleaf. We're going to take a look at the chart. There's a monthly uptrend that confirmed, and it is ahead of the pack compared to the rest of its peers. And there's a very massive bullish signal that is flashing on the chart. And we're going to discuss all that and more. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, all that good stuff. Tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future live streams or when I post a new video. Make sure to follow Powell Group on X, which is previously Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPowell. Again, that is @GroupPowell on X. And like I said, I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Also, as a reminder, I'll be interviewing Morgan Fox, the political director with Normal, and they lobby the U.S. government, and they're fighting for U.S. reform with regards to MJ. So we're going to be talking about rescheduling, HHS recommendation to Schedule 3, and then the DEA signing off. We'll be talking about safe banking and even more. It's not going to be a live stream, so I'll post it after the fact. So again, you can tune in and have the bell notification turned on so that you get notified whenever I post that video tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss that video, that's for sure. I also posted a video on who will benefit the most from rescheduling recommendation from HHS. MSOs or LPs, so multi-state operators or licensed producers, those producers in the US or in Canada. If you haven't seen that video, check it out, but definitely the MSOs are going to benefit the most from this because this is law that affects US companies. And Curaleaf's going to be a major beneficiary of this because if you recall, I did a video not too long ago that Boris Jordan, the executive chairman and co-founder of Curaleaf, he said that if it wasn't for 280E, they would probably already be paying a dividend to investors. Just let that sink in. Just think about that for a second. Let that sink in. They would already be paying a dividend. They've already paid over $350 million to the U.S. government under 280E tax code alone. Imagine what would happen if this gets approved by the DEA and they actually approve the Schedule 3 recommendation from HHS. And then if we get Schedule 3, that will remove 280E tax burden. So imagine all of that money hitting their bottom line. We could potentially see a dividend, in the not too distant future, likely within the next year or two, if it does get passed. And Curaleaf and the rest of the MSOs are absolutely going to fly. And then in this video, I talk about how LPs will benefit. It won't be from a taxation perspective, but the MJ Act is up for renewal here in Canada, which they're talking about, packaging, labeling, marketing, advertising, taxation, all that stuff as well, because we are hindered a lot by taxes here in Canada as well. So there could be some movement on that front, but I talk about how LPs could benefit just from the hype and the benefit of being listed on a U.S. major exchange, because not everybody in the U.S. can access the Canadian exchanges where Curaleaf trades or on the OTC, right, the over-the-counter markets. So that's going to be huge. There's also MSOS, the ETF, which is listed on a U.S. major exchange, so you can get access to some of these multi-state operators indirectly through that ETF. But again, this isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. I'll never tell you to buy, sell, or hold, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything I say or write. And full disclosure, I do own Curaleaf in my MJ portfolio. I have about 15 different MJ stocks, mix of U.S. producers, Canadian producers, U.S. retailers, Canadian retailers, and ETFs, both in U.S. and Canada. And I'm very, very bullish on Curaleaf. It's my second biggest holding. If you want to see my top 5 holdings or my full MJ portfolio, you can check that out on my channel. Just search for that, and I do percentage breakdown as well. But I'm extremely bullish on Curaleaf as well, especially with the prospect of Germany coming online. And then you got to think too, with all this extra money that they have, not only could they potentially pay a dividend and keep a lot more of the revenue instead of that going to the U.S. government under 280E tax code, a lot of that's going to hit their bottom line. They could pay dividends. And then what would likely happen is we'll enter the mega merger phase, the blue chip phase, as it were, where we'll see tons of companies start to acquire other companies, right? Mergers and acquisitions and partnerships. And there was some speculation that Curaleaf could be potentially acquiring Kronos Group. Kronos Group, I think, is a great buyout target, which is backed by Altria. And that could still happen. You never know. But like I said, with all this extra money no longer going to 280E, they could potentially pay a dividend and they could potentially start to acquire LPs. And then same thing with LPs acquiring MSOs. We know that Canopy has a deal to acquire Acreage. Tilray has some convertible notes in MedMen. Once federally permissible, we could see that that deal go through as well. So, but you can't lose sight of the fact that Curaleaf could acquire an LP, right? There's still tons of consolidation that is needed in the space, in my opinion. But we'll take a look at the chart here and what to expect in the days, weeks ahead. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. We are looking extremely bullish, especially compared to some of the peers. And remember, when I drew this out, I actually kind of forgot about this. I brought it up on the chart, and that's the benefit of having this on the chart and using TradingView. If you don't already have TradingView, you can just go to the About section. Scroll down. These are trusted, vetted links, and these are products and services I use each and every day. And TradingView's there. You can just click the link. I will get a kickback for that. It's an affiliate link, full disclosure, but that's what you can use to chart this. And if you don't know technical analysis, you can check out powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. I have a course there on the Academy page, or you can join the Pow Group community on a monthly basis or an annual basis, all on the website as well. And this is what we do day in, day out. 95% of my time is focused on the Pow Group private community. We have almost 50 paid members in there now. But this is what I was looking at. We had the high, the low, and you just take your fib tool, your Fibonacci tool here, and you go from high to low. And then once we started this weekly bounce, it was a very, very weak bounce. So we barely saw any bounce at all, and anything under that 0.32 fib there at 679 was a potential for a weekly bear flag. And then look what happened. We take the measured move, you put it out to the 0.32 fib, and it's exactly where we hit. And then we saw a massive rally afterwards. So we had the high, low, lower high, very weak bounce. And then once we lost the low here at 442, and this is on the CSE, so Canadian, that's when we confirmed it. And it said we were targeting about 285, and we got as low as 297. So it was a double bottom there, actually at 297 as well, right here, which could have been a nice entry there, playing off that support. So if you entered on that double bottom and that weekly bear flag target being met, that's about 165% of upside. So that was a great swing trade opportunity. But in my opinion, for the long term, again, not financial advice, this is for entertainment purposes only, but I think you couldn't go wrong right now adding Curaleaf for the long term. I'm extremely bullish on this company long term. Love their brands, love their management. And like I said, after 280E is no longer an issue, just imagine the possibilities. And we also had an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. We had it play out here, and then we got knocked back down, and then we confirmed it as resistance again, and we dropped below it. This time, we're still above it on this weekly consolidation, and we still have that support coming into play. So we're going to watch for that support potentially there at the EMAs at 513 and 490 to act as support, and then $5 psychological, nice round psychological number as well. But this is good because, like I said, this is the first time, actually the second time that it's happened, but this is the first time that it's happened since we've been in a monthly uptrend. If we go to the monthly time frame, you can see here we had low, high, and then we actually double bottomed there on that. What was the low there? 618 and 613. Actually, we dropped to a slight lower low. So there, we weren't as confident then. And then a lot of our names in the MJ industry were still in monthly downtrends. But now we're starting to see the opposite, where we're starting to see golden crosses across the sector with 50-day moving average crossing through the 200-day moving average. Last time that happened was when the Dems took control of the Senate, and we skyrocketed up to about $22. Then we had a death cross with the 50-day crossing above the 200-day moving average down through that. Price was at about $15, went all the way down to $3. Now we're seeing the golden cross again, and a lot of names are seeing their golden crosses as well, adding more confluence and just more likelihood that we're going to see a reversal here. And like I said, HHS rescheduling to Schedule 3. Safe banking would be great, but I said more than likely it's going to be rescheduling that's going to knock us out of this multi-year bear market and start a multi-year bull market, right? And sure enough, we're confirming monthly uptrends while we see this weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. So low, high, higher low, and higher high. Curaleaf is standing out majorly from its peers. Like, there's barely any other names in the space, in the MJ space. I'm not even aware of any. I'd have to really go through. But you can see here, CL, for example, it's all coming off the low here. If we take a look at MSOS, the ETF, you can see here it's all coming off the low as well. So we haven't even started monthly consolidation yet to form that higher low. So like I said, Curaleaf is definitely standing out from the rest of its peers, already having confirmed a monthly uptrend, and we got above monthly EMA 26. If we take a look at CL, nowhere near its monthly EMA 26. MSOS, nowhere near its monthly EMA 26, that white line there. And same thing with the Canadian names. There's a lot of Canadian names that aren't even doing so yet. So like I said, Curaleaf's looking really, really good, and volume is matching very, very close to an all-time high here on the CSE, still with 7 days left in the month. But this is very reassuring, and the fact that we're seeing this weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, and like I said, the last time that happened, price went from about $7 all the way up to $22, $23, and then we had the bear cross of the weekly moving averages the weekly exponential moving averages. When that occurred, price went from about 16, 17 bucks all the way back down to $3. So now we're seeing the flip side of that. We're even more beaten down than we were back here, and we're seeing golden crosses and monthly uptrend confirmed. So this is looking really good. We're also holding the 10-week moving average on this back test. They're at $4.99, so $5 is going to be very, very strong support in my opinion. If you're looking for an entry on Curaleaf, not a bad idea to enter close to $5 or a slight loss of thereof because of stop loss hunting and things like that. But if you're looking for an entry, now could be as good a time as ever to start loading up on CURA, especially for the long term. We're also back testing the 50 weekly moving average at $5.29, so we've got a ton of support there, and we also have the 50-day moving average at $4.89. So I'm extremely bullish on Curaleaf. I may look to add it. I've been looking to add 1-2 more times. Like I said, it's the second biggest holding in my MJ portfolio. Let me know if you hold it in your portfolio. If you're viewing this video, more than likely you do, but let me know how much of your portfolio percentage-wise is allocated to Curaleaf. Always love hearing from you. Going to end it there though. And like I said, we're looking really good here into the end of the year with a lot of MJ really starting to turn the page. And we could kick it into high gear here into the end of the year, no pun intended. All right. Have a great night. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Powell Group, and we'll see you on the next video.